Good afternoon. Welcome to day 5 of this FDP. 5 days FDP. This is the last day. I was waiting for some more of you to join. Okay, so I saw that a lot of you were complaining about the video recording. I have noted and forwarded it to the concerned person. We'll post correct recordings and we'll try to post in sequence so that you don't have problem identifying them. Any other thing you want to say or discuss? Meanwhile, others are joining.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, yesterday you told us to get the document downloaded from JSTOR and to incorporate in our studio. I've tried to do it, but I
Yeah.
was not actually successful in doing it.
Yes. So in the same format, it will not. So they have
Okay.
changed it. I saw that. Earlier, they used to give their own column to process and analyze. Now they are saying that you should have a university access or institution access, then they will allow. So earlier it was free. Now it is not free. It is through institution only. But you would, whatever you have downloaded, I'll show you. What you can do it, you can massage that data and make it look like a Scopus data. So you already have a Scopus CSV. Take the fields which you have and you would have to remake accordingly, the fields name and the data, whatever you have pulled out from there. In the raw form, it will not work.
Okay.
So
Ma'am,
you'll
is
have
there
to
any
create a data set in an Excel format.
okay. Ma'am,
And
is
then
there
you,
any other way we can get this bibliometric analysis
Mhm.
not depending on Scopus or Web of Science, because majority of us do not have access to those. So actually to get those outcomes.
Unfortunately, dimension is another, but
Okay.
Scopus is the largest one. And that they are, see, data is collected and summarized, and only then you can process it. And these are the software which are doing, others are not doing it. So how would you have that data? Look at amount of massive data that has to be summarized for you. Only then you can process it.
Okay.
It's not just that they are papers, it is the metadata which is recorded, and it is recorded in that database, and that database pulled it out. They are designed to do it, and over the period they have developed a technology to store it and to retrieve it. And now that is how you are now able to do this. So any other form,
Okay.
Google Scholar also, see, you can do it, but it's a tedious task. Like for JSTOR, I'm saying that you had to convert them. Similarly, this data
Okay.
of BibTeX you can get from Google Scholar also, but it is one by one. It is very tedious.
Okay.
You'll have to put it from there. You have to from Google Scholar you have to copy, and end notes or ref work you have to paste, and finally the database will be formed for you.
Okay.
It's very tedious. It's difficult to make, and if you do not have any option and you are ready to do such mechanical work, you can create your own database. Otherwise, generally people look around, somebody would help you. Go to the universities, government universities, topmost institutions have this databases. So some of them even give access to outsiders on daily basis payment. So just identify one day and pick up all your queries and come back.
Okay. Okay. Thank
This
you.
is how you can work if your institutions doesn't have. What else should I suggest you? There are
Okay.
a lot of groups on LinkedIn and you can collaborate. They share, maybe. I'll help you out connecting today. There's a connection, session connecting each other. So networking session, maybe you can tie up and somebody of you can, work together if you belong to similar fields. I don't know. You have to figure it out. How do you do it? But yes, it's a constraint. I acknowledge that. Yes, it is. Most of us do not know how to do it just because we do not have resources. And few of them are
True.
gonna, I'm gonna take you down today. You would say that, okay, most of them are free, but we don't use them just because we are not aware about them. Some of them, yes, are paid and they are good ones. But then there are options for free one also. So you have to figure it out. See, you have to manage how do you work. So how should I tell you how do you manage to work? So find out how to work. Right, so let's begin with today's session. Just let me know if you can see my screen. You can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So we're talking about research software tools and technologies, and they're very, very helpful. So we're not saying that they write a paper for you. They help you write papers. So there's a difference, So we are not doing anything illegal or something like that. These are technologies which are helping you. And why do we need them? Because today, the amount of data which is being created and has to be managed and have to be arranged, it's massive. So why to do that manually? You have softwares to support that, and everybody should start using them. That's what I would suggest. So why to use? So research tools and data play an increasingly important role in research now. And these tools can save time and add depth to qualitative work. That's what is the reason, not just time. It's adding lots and lots of depth. And you are using them to, go deeper in your study, and it helps. So researchers need scholarly publications to read, study, and write a research paper. All of them, you have to read, then you have to study them, pick up inferences, and then you have to write. And this is an ongoing process, and it's a tedious process. And then, how much would you read, and how can you, get into the depth of reading more and more? So there has to be something which should help you, because the data are so much, the massive amount of data and papers are already there. If you miss out, then how should you go about it? So definitely the answer comes from that you have to use technology, and that's going to help you. Because wait a minute, where did I go? Okay. Okay. Right. So therefore, it is necessary to think more critically and about sources. Why is this not going? Okay. So therefore, it is necessary to think more critically about sources and more effectively organize all kinds of digital research tools when you find them. And most of them have a specific work to do. So maybe you have to use multiple tools to do your work, but once you learn them, you get used to of doing them. Now the technology after Web 2.0, it was an era when, everybody was flooded with vast amount of information, and everywhere, all sources, the information is overflowing. Now, when you have such massive growth in information, which was resulting very huge amounts of data, manually processing this data is now becoming impossible because it's overflowing and it's massive. So it's beyond the capacity of humans to actually store it or process or manage it. You have to use in future these tools, because research otherwise would become very, very, it will not have depth. You will read 5-4 and you would think that I made sufficient, even 15-20, if you think is sufficient, it is not, because then the research or papers in those domains are in lakhs. So how to find out which is the most appropriate 100 or 150 papers which you should be referring? So you would definitely have to use technology. There is no way out. In addition, projects involving large scale multiple collaborators have become more common than individual studies. Now you would have seen so many people collaborate, hardly any paper which is single authored. So they're working on projects where because they're multi-country or multidisciplinary projects. Now, how do they combine together? Gone are those days that you have to physically meet. We are also having this FDP online. And I think we are sharing information to each other pretty well. So now when you're collaborating, you really do not have to go on that pen and paper based methodology, you can use tools which are actually helping you out. I'll show you some of them. So people are collaborating in a large number and in different geographies. So they have to use this tool. Such projects frequently span institutions, in some case countries and continents. So researchers are using sophisticated tools to enable them work more easily and productively. I worked here in India in the day and I went to sleep, and they would start when I was sleeping and they start pick it up from there and do their work. That is how projects are being completed, and these softwares are managing them, right? So we have to understand that, is my volume low? Can you hear me? Hello?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, somebody couldn't hear me, so I thought of checking. Right, so what are different software tools of research? So some are statistical. Most of us are aware about statistical. So SPSS is our favorite, apart Excel. The basic one is Excel. So when we become more pro, we switch on to SPSS, and that's the end of it. And we think that we have conquered the world. But yes, it is the must use or most used software in social sciences. But SAS is equally popular. This part of Earth, it is not. But let me tell you, if you start exploring SAS, it is not just easy, but it is very, very sophisticated and advanced. The interpretations, the tools, the application is much superior and advanced than SPSS. And it is not difficult. The best part is it's just not difficult. So if you have not explored it, try to explore it. SAS is a wonderful tool to work on. Then you have got consent forms. This kind of research software is used or is necessary for anybody doing research with human subjects, because you have to take their due consent. Now, the purpose of this consent form is to provide information to the potential subject regarding the experiments or study and to answer questions regarding their participation. This is a legal way of experimenting on humans. So there's a software for that, and you can use that. Then comes project management tools. So if you are doing multiple collaborators are there, you can use project management tools. These tools are used to manage project progress, resource allocation, and collaboration. Just like in corporates, you can use them in academia. And two of the most important project management tools are in academia are Trello and Gantt Pro. So if you are 2-3 authors or 5-6 authors across the geographies, and you have been allocated a project to write a paper or some thesis or some research work, you can use this tool to divide your work and compile them. Right? Then you have a very famous, grammar checking tool for English writing, because writing is another part, and Grammarly is our most favorite and loved one. So it checks and detects spellings, grammatical mistakes, punctuations, even rephrase your, sentence. So two most recommended or used grammar check tools are Tickle AI and Grammarly. There are many more. Ref and Write is also one of the softwares which does this for you, and they are AI-enabled softwares. And the most famous one, is your Chat GPT, which can help you do anything, but we don't recommend copying stuff from there. You can refer it for understanding or pulling out basic information. So reference management tools, this is another. First is to collaborate and to write. Another part is the reference management system or tools, that is the papers you have read, how to store them or refer them. So reference management tools help in managing the literature used for research development, thus offering an alternative to a time-consuming task for researchers. So you do not have to write manually. Somebody yesterday was asking me, how do you write for references? So these are the tools which actually convert your references in the format you want. These tools allow you to organize articles and their citations, share them with other researchers, detect duplicate entries, format the list of references, search and replace any references. Such kind of things can be done using this kind of reference management software. Furthermore, it also allows researchers to correctly link and cite the work. So when you are writing in the Word document, you can call Mendeley or Zotero and insert the citation then and there, right? So most famously are Mendeley and Zotero. Mendeley is more famous. Zotero is like second favorite one of work. I personally work on Zotero now. Earlier, I used to work on Mendeley. So desktop was good. Reference manager is like something I find it depends on you. You start working on it and which one do you like? It's your personal favorite, so you can start working on them. Then you have got plagiarism checker software. So we know that, in research papers, it's a crime if you are borrowing somebody's work. But the kind of papers we are talking about, the bibliometric and SLRs, they're particularly reproduction, or you had to necessarily write the work done by others. So we cite them and we have to make sure that it has crossed or checked past the plagiarism check. And for that, we can use softwares which are designed for this purpose. And two of the best knowns are your Urkun and Turnitin, though we have others like Engrigo, Plagiarism Checker, and Dupli Checker. Worldwide, Turnitin is the most favorite and the most trusted one for checking the plagiarism. So nobody should ever submit any paper without checking the plagiarism. So next is, there are many social networking sites only for academicians, like academia.com. So you should all be party to this or member to this, because the collaboration for research and knowledge and papers could happen through these kind of networking sites also. So when the research advances, when shared, so these are the places where you can share. The connections and exchange of ideas between researchers is essential. And to socialize, work network are a great help that encourages collaborative efforts at a distance. So not just that you think about collaborating domestically, but if you join these sites and you find common people, you can collaborate internationally. So this is making it possible to publicize the profile of researchers to the scientific community, and as well as promote their research and establish link with other work teams across the globe. So two of the very, very famous one apart from LinkedIn is academia.edu and ResearchGate, which are mainly for research-oriented or academicians only. Now, tools and resources for academic research. So one by one, I'll show all of these. So first one is this margin notes. Not necessarily that you should have all, it is your personal choice what you pick up. So margin notes, whether you are a student or a teacher, you have to read notes, read documents, chapters, books, or whatever, websites, and you have to make your reports. So here is a tool which makes notes for you. So let me show you a tool which makes notes for you. And let me know if you can share see my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Margin Note presents a brand new e-reader.
Can you hear it also now?
Yes, ma'am.
Better study and digest your books. Integrating powerful tools for annotation to build up your reading notes as never before. Simply create a note by selecting and dragging. Try the lasso tool or sketch a note using Apple Pencil. Highlight and emphasize keywords. Enjoy a tailored research browser to Google and wiki away your puzzles. Easily organize notes from multiple books. Regroup and merge related items, linking and remapping the way you want. Furthermore, edit notes in Outline and get them ready for export. Review your notes as flashcards to study wherever you go. Margin note: studying will never be the same.
But this only works with Apple devices.
Yeah, but phones also, it can, Android app-based phones, it can work.
Mhm.
Apple has got many features. Yes, for publishing, for designing, Apple has got more features. Like there are more softwares for publishing and for these kind of things with Apple compared to Android. But yes, it will work on your phone also. Right, the next one is, where is my PPT? RefWorks. So let me show you RefWork. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. So see RefWork. Can you see my screen?
In this brief introduction to RefWorks, you'll learn how to find and save references while doing your research, how to organize references once they're in RefWorks, and how to cite those references in your writing. Let's say you're doing research, for example, in a library database, and you find a document you will need to cite. Usually there will be some way you can export or save the reference directly into RefWorks. If not, see if you can export an RIS file. When exporting directly into RefWorks, you'll have to choose which version of RefWorks your institution uses. If you always choose only one of them, check this box so RefWorks doesn't ask you again, then click the RefWorks version you want to use. In RefWorks, the import is complete, so click OK. The process works the same way if your institution has a web-scale discovery service like Primo or Summon. After conducting a search, save the references, and then use the tools in the discovery service to export the references. If you're looking at a document on a website that doesn't have a tool to export references directly to RefWorks, you can install and use a browser bookmarklet called Save to RefWorks. RefWorks will quickly scan the page to find the reference information and then show it in a sidebar. You may even be given the option to save a link to the full text. Add or correct any fields of information, then at the bottom, click Save to RefWorks. Now you are in RefWorks, and you're looking at the last imported references. Some of these references have already been moved into folders or been given tags, but the reference you just imported is not in a folder. Instead, it's in a place in the My Folders section called Not in Folder. Using folders is a great way to organize your references, and all you have to do is drag and drop the references to the folder you want. You can have folders for different research projects or different classes or whatever works for you. You can also share one of your folders and all the references it contains. That way, when you work on a research team, you all can have access to those same references when writing your research papers. So now let's look how RefWorks helps when you're writing that research paper. If you use Microsoft Word for Windows, Mac, or iPad, you can add the tool called RefWorks Citation Manager. This is basically a simplified version of RefWorks, which shows up in Microsoft Word as an add-in with its own tab. After you log into RefWorks Citation Manager, it synchronizes references with your RefWorks account. As you write your paper, when you need to cite one of your reference sources, you'll find it on the sidebar. You can switch to the folder that contains the reference you want, or use the search box. When you hover over the reference, you'll be able to edit the reference, or you can just click Cite This, and the citation is inserted in the place you left your cursor. At any time, you can add a bibliography at the end of your paper. Click here on the Options menu and turn on Bibliography. The full references will be added in the proper citation style. Continue adding citations to your paper, and the bibliography will grow too. By the way, if you need a different citation style, click the Options menu, choose a citation style, then click Update. Older versions of Microsoft Word cannot use RefWorks Citation Manager, so in that case, you can add the tool called Write and Cite. This tool has similar functionality to RefWorks Citation Manager, but some of the workflows are different. Details on how to use Write and Cite are covered in a different training session. If you don't use Microsoft Word, you use Google Docs instead, there is an add-on for RefWorks there too. This tool is more like RefWorks Citation Manager, with a sidebar and quick access to your references. But with Google Docs, there is the added ability to share the document with other people. And that's a quick introduction to RefWorks.
Right, so you have to just get along and start using few of them to make a hands-on, and then you will get used to of using them. So depending on which one you are comfortable, you can pick and choose. So next one is EndNotes. So EndNotes is the standard. It's a standard industry software like Mendeley, and it's used for publishing and managing the same way, bibliographic and citation and references, both for Windows and Mac computers. So let me show you that also. Were you not able to hear anything in this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Oh. Ari, you could have spoken in between. Wait.
On Windows.
Can you hear it?
We'll cover how to create an EndNote library,
Are you able to hear it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
2 ways to import a reference from an online database using PubMed as an example, how to create a custom group and add references,
Ma'am, not able to see.
how to use find full text,
Madam, screen is not visible, madam.
Screen is not visible.
Only voice audible.
Voice audible. Is it visible now?
Yes, screen visible now.
to download PDFs, how to insert a reference into a Microsoft Word document, how to format a bibliography using the APA 7th output style as our example, and how to add page numbers to an in-text citation. To create an EndNote library, click the shortcut on the program window or select New from the File drop-down menu. EndNote will suggest naming your library My EndNote Library, but feel free to assign a name of your choice. We recommend storing all of your research materials in a single EndNote library. And I'm going to call this library My Research Projects. To avoid an increased risk of library corruption, be sure not to save libraries that you're actively developing within cloud syncing folders, such as those for Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive. Also, don't save libraries that you're actively developing onto a network drive. Click the Save button to finish creating your new library. The first method of automated reference capturing we'll discuss is via online search. You'll find an online search section within your library's groups panel in EndNote 20. Click a shortcut for a favorite connection file or press More to choose from a list of all installed connection files. Input your parameters and click the Search button to query the remote database. EndNote 20 will retrieve the first 25 search results, and you will have the option to download additional references if you'd like. None of these search results are saved to your library until you choose to do so. Review the references and select the items you want to keep. Click the plus symbol when you're ready to copy these search results to your EndNote library. The references you copy will show in your library's unfiled group, since they're not yet part of a custom group. To create a custom group for these references, select the Groups drop-down menu and choose Create Group. Input the name of your group and press Enter. Highlight the references to add to your new custom group and then drag and drop them into the group. Another popular method of automated reference capturing is known as direct export. You can use the direct export workflow to capture references with many online databases. But let's import some references from pubmed.gov as an example. I'm using Mozilla Firefox for this tutorial because it supports direct export on both Mac OS and Windows. Perform your search of the online database in your web browser. Choose the references you want to import by selecting them. Feel free to export a range of search results by not marking any items. Choose the Send to Link, then press Citation Manager. Click Create File, and complete the export by opening the temporary text file produced by the information provider with your EndNote 20 application. The exported references will appear within an Imported References temporary group. Highlight, then drag and drop your new library entries to a custom group created for this project or topic. The process to initiate a direct export to EndNote may vary from site to site. Look for something that talks about saving, exporting, or importing references. To have EndNote attempt to find full-text PDFs for references in your library, highlight those references, then click the Find Full Text shortcut. You'll see a paperclip icon appear next to those references for which EndNote finds a PDF article to download. After a reference appears in your EndNote library, you can add it to a Microsoft Word document. In Word, position your cursor to create an in-text citation using the Cite While You Write add-in. With your cursor in place, click the Insert Citation shortcut found on the left of the EndNote 20 tab to bring up the Find and Insert My References window. Perform a search for an author name, keyword, part of a title, any bit of information found within an EndNote library reference. Press Find to review a list of all matching references from any open library that fit this search's scope. When you're ready, highlight the references you'd like to add to your writing project and then press Insert. Your in-text citation will appear along with the bibliographic entry within a formatted reference list at the bottom of the body of your text, which EndNote will continuously update. Feel free to cut and paste your reference list elsewhere if you'd like. To change your output style, click the diagonal arrow shortcut found in the bottom right corner of the EndNote 20 tab's Bibliography section. From the Configure Bibliography window, select an output style from your list of favorites, or press Browse to see a complete list of all installed styles. Click the OK button whenever you're ready, and EndNote will automatically reformat your references. To add page numbers to an in-text citation, highlight the citation with your mouse, and then click the Edit and Manage Citations shortcut found on the EndNote 20 tab in Word. Add cited page information to the Pages field, then click the OK button. This overview should help you get started quickly, but EndNote 20 can do so much more. Please visit the EndNote training portal at endnote.com/training to find pre-recorded videos, digitized text guides.
Okay, so this is very famous. EndNotes and RefWork are very, very famous, and they're directly linked with many databases. So if you have institutional access, you should be using these softwares. It makes your citation, bibliographic and arrangement of references and many things more. I wanted to show you how you can use this for writing systematic literature review. Before that, few more are there. Just let us finish this and then I'll show you one more. So Google Scholar is the primary one. Most of us are aware about it and we use it also. So it's freely accessible and it includes online journals, books, conference papers, everything is there. But yes, its index publishing quality or the journals which are indexed to it is like, we can't say that it is of standard quality. But yeah, most of the time people do refer to Google Scholar for basic search, strategy. Maybe you can switch on to the next one when you identify where you have to work on. So Google Scholar is there. For people who are working specifically in medical line, there is a software called Medline. So this one is specifically if you are from medical line. So this software helps to arrange or access the database and create bibliographies from people who are working in life sciences and biomedical information. So if you are from that field, this is the software which is meant specifically for that. There are others like SiteShare, Scopus, Web of Science. These are databases. Now, then there are survey tools. If you're doing research, you would like to, if you're empirical survey-based research, then you can use tools such as Google Forms, which we all of us use on day-to-day basis now. Then you have got SurveyMonkey, SurveyGizmo, PollDaddy. If you have some questions for SurveyMonkey, you can ask till 10 questions. SurveyGizmo, you can ask 25 free questions. And then, PollDaddy. So few number of questions are free. If you have an extensive, it may charge. Then you have got web data collection tools like Octopus. This is scraping tools. These days, you have to scrape information from websites for creation of your databases or data sets. So for example, if you had to scrape reviews, if you are doing text analytics, you have to scrape it from the websites. So these are scraping tools, Octopus. पार्स हब, दे हेल्प यू स्क्रैप फ्रॉम वेबसाइट, जो आपकी स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा होता है उसको स्क्रैप करके टैबलेट कर देते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाट दीज टूल्स डू. Scrapy is another open source collaborative framework which can do the same work. And then comes the AI based tools. So you have got Bit AI, eLink IO. These are again, when you see them, please refer to the YouTube to see videos on them. You would see them how beautifully they can create content and how infographics and look and feel of the document can be converted by using these AI-based tools. So I'm just giving you the names. Please refer to YouTube and see. A few of them are really free and few are for some time free. So at least till the time they are free, you should use them and make use of it. Then ChatGPT is all our, everybody knows it from OpenAI. This is something which is generative AI. And do not use it for content writing, but use it for acknowledging or finding out from where to begin for. So theories or authors or most cited papers you can search here. For that, it is very good. Now, what I would do it, I would create few, groups according to your interest area and can send you for, networking among yourselves. Before that, I would like to ask if there is anything you want to ask me, so you can ask.
रितु मैम,
Yes, Sanjay sir.
कैन यू टेल मी ये वो स्कूपस को हम जुटैरो में कैसे इंपोर्ट करते हैं?
Zotero में नहीं सर, मेंडले में कर पाएंगे.
नहीं, आपने कल मैंने पूछा था ना, आपने कहा था कि जुटैरो में दोनों फाइल्स कुछ मर्ज हो सकती हैं, वेब ऑफ साइंस और स्कूपस की.
तो आप उसमें से डाउनलोड करेंगे, रेफरेंसेस वहां एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे,
हाँ,
पर मर्ज करेंगे, मतलब वो अपने आप ही मर्ज कर देते हैं. आप क्या मर्ज करोगे उसमें? मतलब
नहीं मतलब सपोज मैंने एक वो पूरा डेटा डाउनलोड कर लिया स्कूपस से सीएसवी फाइल में.
CSV में, ओके.
हाँ, अब वो सीएसवी फाइल में एज इट इज जुटैरो में अपलोड कैसे करूंगा?
नहीं 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 नहीं, Zotero में अपलोड नहीं होगी वो. ईदर यू एक्सपोर्ट द फाइल टू Zotero, CSV नहीं जाएगी उसमें.
तो स्कूपस जुटैरो में डायरेक्ट एक्सपोर्ट करने का ऑप्शन देता है?
नहीं, Zotero नहीं देता. उसके लिए मेंडले यूज, वही ना, हर में अलग अलग यूज होते हैं. कहीं एंड नोट्स होंगे, कहीं रेफ वर्क्स होएगा, कहीं Zotero होगा. स्कोपस में मेंडले से जाता है.
और वेब ऑफ साइंस का भी?
वेब ऑफ साइंस का भी जाता है.
मेंडले से ही जाएगा, इससे नहीं जा रहा?
नहीं, Zotero से नहीं जाएगा. मतलब वही है, ये अलग, ये सारे ही स्टैंडर्ड टूल्स है, लेकिन किसी के पास कोई है, किसी के पास डायरेक्ट एक्सपोर्ट के लिए. अदरवाइज थोड़ा मैनुअल लेबर हो जाएगा, आपको इधर से डाउनलोड करने पड़ेंगे उधर.
वो तो फिर बार बार आपको ये सारे लिखने
हाँ,
पड़ेंगे इनके डीओआई और ये सारी चीजें.
तो जिस डेटाबेस में जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो यूज कर लीजिए.
इसमें तो सारे सीखने पड़ेंगे.
सारे नहीं सर, लगता है हमको ये सब जैसे ही होते हैं. आप एक दो यूज
एक ही
करेंगे,
जैसे होते हैं, वो तो
एक ही जैसे होते हैं. थोड़ा बहुत बस इधर उधर का अंतर होता है इनमें. आप एक यूज करने लगेंगे, आप कोई भी यूज कर लेंगे.
हाँ,
जैसे अगर स्कोपस यूज कर लिया तो आप वेब ऑफ साइंस भी कर लेंगे, आप इसको होस्ट भी कर लेंगे. कोई चेंज तो नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत लुक एंड फील अलग होता है, करता तो वही काम है वो. तो अब अगर एक सीख लेंगे ना, आप किसी पे भी कर लेंगे. इट्स नॉट अ इशू.
वो है, वो देखा मैंने.
तो एक बार जिसमें जो है वो हम उसको चेंज नहीं कर सकते ना. अगर करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो फिर हमें मैनुअल काम करना पड़ेगा. फिर इसका पर्पज ही क्या रहा?
नहीं, ऑफ कोर्स वो तो है.
तो
एंड
मैंने इतने सारे बताए आपको. ये सारे देखो, मेटपब पे आपको कोई और मिलेगा, स्कोपस में कोई और मिलेगा, ये लेकिन ये सारे स्टैंडर्ड हैं. इनमें से ही कोई होगा, या तो एंड नोट होगा, या रेफ वर्क होगा, या Zotero होगा, या मेंडले होगा.
चलो ये सारे इंटीग्रेट करते हैं.
ये सारे एक से हैं. आपको नाम अलग अलग लग रहा है, पर मैं आपको एक वीडियो और दिखाती हूँ कि इनको यूज करके आप सिस्टमैटिक लिटरेचर रिव्यू कैसे हो. जस्ट गिव मी 2 minutes. Okay, so see this video, which shows you that how can you pull up direct the lines from the research paper, paste it in Windows, or not Windows, Word, and cite it there and prepare it. So in literature review, particularly in systematic review, when you have to cite, just see how can you use Mendeley side by side, not just for reference management, but just to pick up the things which you, there are 4-5 more, but let me, restrict on this. Just see Mendeley. But once you get used to of it, you on your own will discover that there are many, many more. But to begin with, start with this, and then you can progress it on. Probably next FDP I can have designed for this only. There are so many softwares these days. What should I tell you? Every day I find a new one. And AI is building on every day newer ones. So just have a look at this, and then
you open Mendeley, herein I've got papers obviously, but you will see empty Mendeley with this option available, create folder. So the first thing you do is you create a folder for all your files. Now, it's strongly recommended that you create separate folder for your separate research. For example, if you're working on, say, servant leadership and organizational performance, so you create a folder for this particular research. There's another way to do it. You can create separate folders for each variable. But then to a certain extent, searching becomes difficult if you want to focus on variables that are interrelated. So searching out relationship between variables can become sort of difficult. So what you do is just click on create folder, name it. Let's say I'm naming it SL, CS, OP. Now it is selected, and you see what you see is this empty area. In order to add papers, just click this plus sign or click here, add files. And let's say if these are the files, you just press Control A to select all files and press open. And your files are coming in. So you've imported all the files that are in the paper. Now you can open each one of those files, just double click on any file and you'll see the paper for yourself. Now let's start. How do you search through these papers? I've got this folder, IM, internal marketing, and I've got around 297 papers in there, 297 documents. One of those 297 documents selected. And here you write your search string. You can search for authors, titles, publication names, years, and notes. Now let's do a plain search. Let's do a very simple search. Let's search for internal marketing. And once you write internal marketing, it will search for papers that have got this text. But look at this, it has searched or highlighted internal, just the word internal, because you haven't put this text in quotes. So once you put it in quotes, it will search the phrase internal marketing in the papers, and only those papers are brought out of search that have got this phrase internal marketing. In this case, obviously, all the papers are related to internal marketing, so almost all papers are selected. Now, let's say I'm focusing on a study that actually evaluates or assesses the impact of internal marketing on customer service. So I've got this folder on internal marketing, and I'm looking for text that actually links internal marketing to customer service. So what I do is, instead of writing the whole phrase internal marketing and customer service, I did just write in customer service. So now all those papers that have got this word customer service are selected or presented. And if you select all, there are 161 papers that have got this word. Now you do not have to open each one of those papers or each 297 papers and search customer service in it. Now, Mendeley has already filtered out that for you. What you can do next is just click one of the papers. But when you click on that paper, the problem is that it says no matches for the phrase customer service. Why is that so? Because it already searches for phrase in the paper, and it has got double quotes here. So what you need to do is you can just remove the quotes here, and it will search the whole phrase customer service. look into this text and see if any particular text is valuable for your research, something that you can use in your literature. For instance, I think I can use this, the findings of the paper. So what you simply do is just right click it, copy the text, bring it into your MS Word document and paste it. Now there's one thing that you need to do. Obviously, you will have to format it. And obviously, you need to refer it because this text is not your text. This is not your idea. This is someone else's idea. So what you need to do is you need to go back here into your Mendeley, go to my library, and this paper is already selected. Just right click on it, click copy as formatted citation. And you just add the citation at the end of your text. In this case, now we need to put the citation in the text as well, and the detailed citation goes in the end list of references. Here it is. Just remove the initials and leave the last name in there. So this is how you can use Mendeley to copy the text, search the text, and refer the text. Now, there's one important thing that one should consider, and that is, let's search again. Internal marketing. Now, in business management, there's almost always the case that one particular concept is known by different names. Particular concept might be known by different names. Internal marketing is known by internal marketing. Internal marketing is known by internal customer orientation. Internal marketing is also referred to as internal customer orientation. Now, if this is the case and you've got 300 or 400 papers, now how do you search papers when a particular concept is known by multiple terminologies? So what you do is, okay, it's stuck. Sometimes this happens with Mendeley. So obviously it will close down and you will have to restart again. Okay, let me restart Mendeley. If I want to search like that, so how I do it? Internal market, put a asterisk at the end, then or internal customer orientation. So with this string, the string selected, it will select all the text or all the papers that have got either internal market or internal marketing or internal market orientation. This we have already discussed. See, this is internal customer orientation. So it's selecting everything that has got either internal marketing with an asterisk. So whatever comes after T, whether it is ing or whether it is internal market orientation, it will be selected. And it will also select papers that have got internal customer orientation. Now, this is how you can select papers that have got text that could be referred to as, or concept that could that is normally referred to as in different forms. For example, I've already mentioned that internal marketing is referred to as internal market orientation or internal marketing or internal customer orientation, or corporate social responsibility for that matter is referred to as.
Okay, so I hope I have given you a lot of insights on how to use these softwares and how can you build upon your paper using these softwares. Any questions from your side?
मैडम ये डाउनलोड नहीं हो रहा इसकी EXE ना Mendeley की, पता नहीं हो रहा।
डेस्कटॉप करिए, ये रेफरेंस मैनेजर करिए।
क्या डालूं? डाउनलोड Mendeley डेस्कटॉप लिखा मैंने।
डेस्कटॉप नहीं, रेफरेंस मैनेजर।
वो एक्चुअली लेके तो उसी लिंक पे जाता है, बट दैट वो लिंक क्लिक होने के बाद ओपन नहीं होता।
What it is?
मैंने टाइप किया।
Let me see which is the link. Wait a minute. Let me share a link with you. Look in the chat window. I have given a link.
नहीं, वो उसको क्लिक करेंगे ना तो फिर वो कुछ ओपन नहीं करता है।
नहीं नहीं ओपन करता है,
अरे
देखिए।
आप करो ना, एक बार करके देखो।
यही आपका लिंक है, जो है ना।
यही ओपन किया है।
हाँ तो यही है।
हाँ अभी ओपन हुआ, इतनी देर से नहीं हो रहा।
आप ओपन कर सकते हैं इसको, इट्स वर्किंग फाइन। You can download it from a mine is Mac, so I've taken Mac. You can take Windows. Any more questions? Okay. So we'll break for 10-15 minutes break, and then we'll come back for networking groups, right? If anybody has got any query, can ask me. कोई questions है किसी के तो वो पूछ सकते हैं. Otherwise, we'll come after 10-15 minutes and I'll divide you among groups. Okay, then take a break so that we can come back and network. So you will get your certificates on Monday. I'll mail, you will receive it on your email.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
So we have problem with the YouTube links. We cannot access the videos.
Which videos you, the links, yes, I'll give you. I have raised this to the IT people.
Okay.
They should
Ma'am, it will be better if you share the Google link, Google Drive link.
The way they give it, I can only share that way. It goes through the technical team only. I do not have any access on that. So I've requested them. They should give me the working link that I'll share.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Just take 10-15 minutes break and we'll be back, and then I'll divide you in groups.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. So can you all let me know what could be the specialization areas or groups we can have so that we can pick and choose the number and go. Say, for example, 1 is for HR, 2 is for marketing, and 3 is for, tell me, finance. Or any other groups you want? Economics?
Economics and IB.
Economics. Okay. And 5 is for anybody apart from these groups? Healthcare, okay. So 5th is healthcare. Okay. I think more than sufficient group. Okay. ESG. 6 is for ESG. Right. So I'm opening 6 groups, 6 rooms. You can pick and choose. Okay. Travel and tourism management. General management kar deti hu main. 7. So other kind of management can go to room number 7. So I'm assigning 7 rooms. Please choose the number and enter in your room. Please join your room. Yes, I've already allocated now. Go to general management for engineering and management. Go to room number 7. All participants are requested to move in rooms. Please move in rooms. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
ma'am.
Please pick up and choose a room according to your interest and move there. Are you facing some problem joining the rooms? Join the rooms. I could still see 25 participants have not joined the room. Please join the room. Please join the room according to your subject area. पूछ लो अटैच करके भेज दोगे जैसे काउंसलर हो से क्या पता। रूम्स पे भेजा हुआ है। तो पालू पालू आ रहा है तुमको? हाँ, तुम्हारा थोड़ी एग्जाम हुआ है। ये आज ये नहीं सोई है, आधी की गेट के आगे बैठी हुई थी। So welcome back. Yeah. So was it a fruitful discussion? Yes. Anything meaningful out of it? Any collaborations? See, when you talk, you learn, and by sharing, you only grow. So I would request everybody to now please open up your cameras so that we can know each other and collaborate and be a larger part of this community, help each other in whatever ways we can. So whatever knowledge sharing I could do, I have done it. The main essence is that how do we continue way forward in this stream and take it further from here. Just give me a minute. Let me call sir. Okay, any key takeaways from the FDP? Anybody? Would like to know if I was able to add something to the existing stack of knowledge. So any key takeaways? Anybody? Yeah, great insights. In what manner, like?
Hello, Ritu ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Is wonderful. I had so many of other engagements, but I sit on my computer with two screens, and one is my desktop, one is my laptop. And really, I personally learned a lot of new things which I didn't know earlier, whether it is meta-analysis or even the templates for Prisma. And this Biblioshine was really wonderful. I think it was easier than the WAS viewer.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है sir. It's only that you will develop a flavor for it. Both are used for different reasons, you know. If you will see for network analysis diagram, they are better made in WAS viewer. But if you will see for cluster and factorial diagrams, they cannot be made. Cluster is made there, but factorial is not made. And then comes the world cloud. I don't know if I have skipped out making a world cloud in WAS viewer. You get a beautiful world cloud in WAS viewer. So try that. You know,
let's say I'll write one paper only with you on Bibliometric. With then I'll learn more.
Oh, you're most welcome.
No doubt. Like this is the objective with which I decided to join this FDP. For me, it is actually successful.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are just waiting for our Pro VC to join in for the validatory session. So stay with us. We'd like to have a group picture as a memory and memory. Yes, Miss Deva.
Yes.
Yes.
So you mentioned about specific things. So now when I was doing my PhD in last decade, 7-8 years back, so we had a, my professor just tossed this word meta-analysis. But of course, at that point in time, I was so busy in my work that, I said, okay, meta-analysis is there. And this time, on the very first day, I got such a wonderful, introduction to meta-analysis and a pretty simple way of doing that. Because my professor, who was a seasoned professor at NITI, he said, yeah, this is happening these days. So, the pace at which things are moving, that's really too much. You mentioned that we have to constantly keep reading and keep abreast of things.
And in this era of technology, you have to also
Yes.
because you will you think that these are difficult things, but once you start using, you will find
Yes.
that they're actually helping you out.
Yes.
They're not difficult, rather they are designed in a manner, so don't avoid them.
Yeah,
Get
absolutely.
now. This is the era where nobody, there were times nobody was wanting to have smartphones, but see,
Yes.
I hardly anybody lives like without a smartphone now with internet connection. So
True.
the more you adapt, the more and particularly our profession, it demands you to be upgraded, and that's what we are into. And taking this hitch away from everybody's mind that okay, I will go the most traditional way and technology is not required. It's only complicated thing because see the amount of data which is being generated now, you
Yes.
cannot handle it.
It's
You don't
humanly
have to
impossible.
It's
Yeah.
forceful migration rather, it's
Absolutely.
forcing you to adopt it. There is no
And fortunately, technology is making it so simple, as in
yes.
once
Once you
you kind of
adopt it, once you
yes,
adopt it, it's making
yeah.
it simpler.
So all the data mining, etc. That's really fantastic. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
So just wait for some time more, and we have got Monica ma'am here. She's our academic senior academic coordinator, and we are waiting for Madhukar sir to just join. Meanwhile, everybody please fill the feedback form I've just shared on the group.
एक बार फीडबैक वाला लिंक दोबारा सेंड करो.
Yes, I'm sending. I'm just sending. It's in your chat window also, and on WhatsApp also I'm sending again. Please fill. Okay, can we have everybody switch on your cameras? Please switch on your cameras. We have with us our Pro VC, Professor Dr. Vikas Madhukar. He's also Director ABS. He's my mentor and he's here.
So very good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon, Dr. Ritu.
Good afternoon, sir.
So I hope you have finished up with this session.
Yes, sir. Whatever best I could have delivered, I have already done that.
Right, right. So although we call it a valedictory session, right? And in valedictory, in a very formal sense, the valedictory we have, you know, the kind of address and then the summation that what we have achieved out of this event at the end when we are ending it, and are we able to achieve the outcome for what the FDP was initiated and the agenda what we have taken for this FDP. So, you know, I will not be very formal kind of thing, having speaking too much on this, but more from the participant side. I would like to hear from you your experience during last 4-5 days, that what value addition do you feel that you have after attending this 5 days FDP. I spoke in the beginning that this is very important with reference to understanding the kind of research work which has been done in a particular area, in a particular domain. And it is a very systematic way of evaluating and reviewing the kind of work which has already been done in that area, both at international level and a national level. And then so that it can help you in identifying the research gap, and which eventually be helpful for you in taking a decision regarding choice of topic. And you should feel very confident while you are assessing and telling, see, this kind of work has already been done, and this kind of work has this is a research gap, and this is what needs to be done, and this is how, you know, we have decided about this particular topic. So any of you, and I would request others to also be there on the screen. Open your camera so I can see Shruti Mathur. Shruti ji, what do you say? What is your experience after this 5 days of? Just introduce yourself and then, you know, the brief comment from your end. Please unmute.
We can't hear you, Shruti. Shruti ma'am, we can't hear you. Maybe unplug your earphones.
Now can I be heard?
Yes.
Yes, now we can hear your voice.
Okay. So very good afternoon to everybody. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I was, I was almost waiting for it, because I'm really, I really want to express my heartfelt thank you for this workshop. The topic for the workshop was very contemporary, very much required. It was very well conducted, where despite being online, very much, yes, we were very much, our coach was very much involved. Dr. Ritu was very much personally involved in this. We could share our screens and our problems could be solved right away. So that actually got to me very much, gave me the confidence that yes, I can go on with this, because there's a lot of computing that is to be done. Of course, a whole lot of things we learned, and very important. The most important thing is that the topic was absolutely essential. I must say it is an essential tool we researchers need to have. Secondly, it was very well conducted. And thirdly, to bring the full worth of this, we will have to now work on our own. So we will be requiring, to sort of go through again and again through those lectures till we master it and then actually get the worth of it, which I'm sure is tremendous. So thank you very much once again. And
Shruti, you are from which university?
oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm from Amity University, Rajasthan, and I'm professor here at biotechnology, Amity Institute of Biotechnology. I'm also coordinator of the Center for Water Studies and Research. So I really need this kind of skill for the kind of work that I have to do. So I'm indeed very grateful to all of you there for conducting this for us.
Thank you, Dr. Shruti. And you are very right, like it is more important now, whatever you have learned, you should practice it and see that, you should be able to finally implement it in your subsequent researches. Right. Thank you so much for your kind words. May request to maybe Rishika. Few words, I don't want you to speak too much, right? Just, whatever you feel to speak in 2-3 lines.
I think Rishika has written a long note on the chat.
Rishika, you have written something. You are not speaking up.
Please unmute yourself, Rishika.
So Rishika has written very enriching session, hands-on training, and edit a lot of our research based on systematic literature review. And thanks for the effort and at the department. Achha, sorry, I could not talk at the department. Right. No problem. So we have, got your mind here in chat box. Right. Thank you. Anyone, I can see very few. Kamlesh Kohli, Pooja Kohli, Pravesh Ghosh, Sanjay Kumar, Pooja Dubey, Kiran. Kiran is traveling, good commitment, and while traveling, she is attending. Right. So any one of you can speak, just unmute and share your thought and feedback.
So I am actually a writer, technical writer working with corporate. I am not really into the academic domain, but I am pursuing PhD, and I wanted to actually write a, bibliographic, kind of paper. But when I started reviewing those papers that I found online, I was really overwhelmed. And I was thinking, what is this? I don't think I can do it. I would not understand how this analysis works. There are so many tables, so many heavy descriptions, but you made it really simple for me. Now I have confidence that I can do it. And by revisiting your lectures, I think whatever if I forget anything, I will be able to clarify those things. And yeah, thank you very much. It was a very engaging session. And the best thing I liked about it was that the support from you at every point, all our doubts were cleared and we were consistently connected even on the group. So thank you very much for conducting these sessions, and I look forward to learning more from you even in the future.
Thank you. Great. I mean, you're right. Like the systematic review and bibliometric analysis, something which was not much in use earlier, and it was only the recent researcher they have started adopting it. It was used, but it was not that prevalent, right? But now it has become an important part. Whenever the research scholar is making a presentation of synopsis or proposal, we also always look for the systematic review analysis and bibliometric analysis, and we expect that while the scholar is explaining the research gap, right, so he should be able to make this systematic review as a part of that. Right. Thank you. Anyone else? Yash Lohana, you are from you mentioned you are a writer, Pooja.
Yeah, I am a writer with a writing company. I'm from Pune.
Okay, right.
And actually, I have picked up a topic which is not very well researched. I'm doing it in learning and development, but I want to study the impact of learning and development on employee retention. So it is connected with only in few papers, but there's no research that is specifically I could find on disconnection. So I was also struggling to do LR actually. I'm still on my LR. And it's not yet completed. So when I found that this is the paper, I immediately, in class, I thought I should immediately join. This will be really helpful.
Right, good. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you do not find the exact literature, but it is good also. You know, you can say that the kind of topic which you have identified, although, you know, in isolation, you may find many studies on the learning and development or otherwise on retention, but specifically when you would want to establish the relationship between two, right? So there are a few study available or whatever, right? So I have given my email ID on chat box, right? Because I think that it is important that subsequent FDPs, what we are planning, right? We should aim based on your feedback in terms of what kind of topic you would want us to cover, right? So I would appreciate if you can drop a small email mentioning, right, the kind of topic you would want us to cover, not only in research methodology, but also in any of the area of business and management, because the FDPs are something we keep organizing on different issues, right? So we have an academic staff college operating in the university, and it's also quite active in organizing the FDPs for the faculty members. So before I say anything and we close this session and hand over it to Ritu Sharma, if anybody wants to say anything, you are please welcome, don't hesitate. One line, two line comment.
Yeah, I'm Professor Pravash Ghosh. Actually, I'm working with ICFAI Gurgaon, sir, and I'm doing my PhD from Petroleum University. So,
what is your topic of PhD?
It's Sustainable Institute. Sir.
Sustainable
Institute.
Sustainable Institute.
Yeah.
So how are you defining sustainability in terms of an institute? Is financial sustainability or
Yeah,
what? Like
it's from the it's from the financial. I mean the marketing oriented sustainability. So not the environmental or the other aspects, mainly the marketing.
Right. That is why I've asked, because nowadays when we're talking about the sustainability,
yeah,
we are not only concerned with the economic sustainability, but also the economic and social the social sustainability and environmental sustainability. Right. So what do you want to say, please? Carry on.
So I attended for all the 5 days, although I am sitting in my campus in ICFAI, but I attended all the 5 days and I learned this. I am writing on SLR paper also. So it was very helpful the way Ritu ma'am explained, and she helped in the micro level. So it will be very helpful further for writing the paper. So this is, as you said, sir, this is the foundation for any research to start with, to understand the research gap. So it was it will be very helpful in future. And I attended it for all the 5 days, and it was very helpful. So thank you, sir.
Pooja, you want to say? You can unmute.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Myself, Pooja Kohli, and I'm from Department of Commerce, HNBGU, research scholar. And the workshop is very insightful for me. So I'm also working on a bibliometric analysis paper. So for me, my so many problems regarding the software or tools are resolved by the ma'am or the other experts. So I'm very thankful to the Ritu ma'am and other expert also.
Right. Thank you for your observation and feedback, and thanks to Dr. Ritu Sharma, who has conceived the idea of conducting this FDP and finally shaped the idea and implemented it, and also invited the various expert, those they are authority in this particular area, to be here on this platform and share their valuable experience and expertise with all of you. And the kind of response what we have received for this FDP, as I mentioned in my earlier address on very first day, was very overwhelming. And of course, the participation of the participant, I understand, right, since each one of you is working and you are attending it online. So I know that it is sometimes not possible to be there on screen for all the time, right, starting from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But I'm sure that since you all have registered and you all have shown your interest, that each one of you has given his or her maximum in terms of attending and getting the valuable inputs from the resource person. And I'm sure that the kind of input which you all have received during last 5 days will add a great value to your knowledge and will help you in practicing and implementing this bibliometric analysis and systematic literature review in your subsequent researches. On behalf of Amity University, on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Choke Chauhan, on behalf of our chancellor, respected Dr. Asim Chauhan, and on my personal behalf and on behalf of all faculty members of Amity Business School, the organizing team of this FDP, I once again thank you for your participation in this 5 days FDP. And as I mentioned that the email ID which I had given to you, you can share your feedback on the topics, on the areas on which you would want us to plan our next FDP. And I'm ensuring you that we will provide our best input during any of the FDP which we will organize in future. Thank you very much. And over to you, Dr.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time with us. I know you're very busy. So some general informations I would like to share. So if the videos were not working, I'll share the fresh links where they would work, and I'll reshare them. And your certificate of participation, we will send you by email by Monday. So if you do not get any, if anybody doesn't get it, so do not panic, write back to me and I'll make sure that your certificates reach out to you. But just wait for 2-3 days. So only on the starting of next week, you would receive your certificates. And yes, you can reach out to us for any other FTPs or any other help you require. And way forward from here is that you start doing it. And that is how you can, use this knowledge which you have spent so much time on. Thank you so much for your participation with the this intention that next time I'll come again with something more innovative and more engaging. I'll get connected with you all again. I have your all email IDs. And till then, have a nice evening and have a very nice weekend also. Thank you so much for sparing your time and energy. Thank you.